The year 2000 arrived, bringing hope and uncertainty. Technology was rapidly advancing, connecting people in unprecedented ways. The dot-com boom promised economic growth, yet global challenges like climate change and terrorism loomed. The 2000 presidential election, a close race between George W. Bush and Al Gore, exposed deep political divisions. The outcome, decided by the Supreme Court, left many questioning American democracy. The stage was set for a new chapter in American history. The 2000 presidential election exposed a deep divide in American society. George W. Bush and Al Gore represented starkly different visions for the future. The close results triggered a recount in Florida, leading to a 5-week legal battle. The Supreme Court's decision to halt the recount and award the victory to Bush inflamed political tensions. The election highlighted the growing polarization of American politics. This division would shape the nation's political landscape in the years to come. On September 11, 2001, the United States faced a tragedy that altered its history. 4 planes were hijacked by terrorists, targeting symbols of American power. The attacks resulted in nearly 3,000 deaths, making it one of the deadliest days in American history. The nation watched in horror as the events unfolded live on television. The immediate aftermath saw grief, anger, and a surge of patriotism. The attacks reshaped the nation's sense of security and its approach to both domestic and international policies. In response to the September 11th attacks, President George W. Bush declared a global war on terror. The invasion of Afghanistan aimed to dismantle the Taliban regime and eliminate al-Qaeda. The conflict morphed into a prolonged struggle against insurgent forces. Domestically, the USA Patriot Act expanded law enforcement's powers, sparking a debate on security versus individual freedoms. Internationally, the war on terror led to the establishment of Guantanamo Bay and raised ethical questions. The war on terror had far-reaching implications, shaping U.S. foreign policy for years to come. In 2003, the United States launched a major military operation in Iraq. The invasion, justified by the Bush administration on the grounds of weapons of mass destruction, led to swift military victory. However, post-war stability did not materialize, and the country descended into chaos. The absence of weapons of mass destruction led to widespread criticism. The Iraq War became increasingly unpopular as the human and financial costs mounted. The conflict strained U.S. relations with allies and fueled anti-American sentiment. The early 2000s saw economic prosperity, but a storm was brewing. The housing market bubble burst in 2008, leading to the Great Recession. The financial system teetered on the brink of collapse, and millions lost their homes and jobs. The U.S. government took drastic measures to avert a complete meltdown. The Great Recession exposed vulnerabilities and led to a loss of trust in financial institutions. The nation entered the 2010s with a sense of caution and a desire for change. The 2008 presidential election took place against the backdrop of the financial crisis. Barack Obama emerged as a symbol of change and possibility. His message of hope and unity resonated with voters. Obama's campaign was groundbreaking, utilizing technology and social media. His victory was a watershed moment, signifying a desire for a new direction. Obama's presidency was marked by challenges and triumphs, including the Affordable Care Act and the end of the Iraq War. One of President Obama's signature achievements was the Affordable Care Act, ACA. The ACA aimed to reform the American healthcare system, making it more affordable and accessible. The law faced immediate and sustained opposition but succeeded in expanding healthcare coverage. The ACA remains a subject of intense political debate. The law has had a significant impact on the American healthcare system. The ACA represents a bold attempt to address the complex challenges of healthcare in the United States. The 2010s witnessed a surge in social movements advocating for justice, equality, and systemic change. Occupy Wall Street, starting in 2011, rallied against economic inequality and corporate greed. It inspired similar protests worldwide, highlighting economic disparity. In 2013, Black Lives Matter emerged, addressing police violence and systemic racism. The movement organized protests and social media campaigns, drawing global attention. The #MeToo movement, founded in 2017, highlighted sexual harassment and assault. It led to accountability for powerful figures and sparked a cultural shift on gender dynamics. The 2016 presidential election was a defining moment in American politics, marked by deepening polarization. Donald Trump, a businessman and reality TV star, ran a populist campaign with slogans like "Make America Great Again" and "Drain the Swamp," galvanizing voters frustrated with the status quo. Hillary Clinton, the Democratic nominee, represented the political establishment. Despite winning the popular vote, Clinton lost the Electoral College, securing Trump's victory. Trump's victory was met with astonishment and apprehension, signaling a significant shift in American politics. The election highlighted the power of social media and the role of misinformation. The aftermath saw widespread protests, including the Women's March, marking a pivotal moment in American history. Donald Trump's presidency was marked by significant and often controversial changes in domestic and foreign policy. One of his first actions was to issue executive orders aimed at restricting immigration, commonly referred to as the Muslim ban. Domestically, Trump's administration implemented significant tax cuts, most notably the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. Trump's foreign policy was characterized by an America First approach. He withdrew the United States from several international agreements, including the Paris Climate Accord and the Iran nuclear deal. Trump's presidency was marred by two impeachments. The second impeachment followed the storming of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. The Trump administration's tenure was a period of intense political and social upheaval. The legacy of Trump's presidency continues to influence American politics. As the decade progressed, a new and unforeseen challenge emerged, one that would profoundly impact the United States and the entire world. In late 2019, a novel coronavirus, later designated as SARS-CoV-2, emerged in Wuhan, China. The virus, which causes COVID-19, spread rapidly, becoming a global pandemic. The United States was hit hard. Hospitals were overwhelmed and healthcare workers faced PPE shortages. Schools and businesses shut down, sending shockwaves through the economy. Millions adapted to a new reality. The pandemic exposed and exacerbated existing inequalities. Communities of color were disproportionately affected. Low-wage workers and small businesses bore the brunt of the downturn. The development and distribution of vaccines offered hope, but recovery remained uncertain. The 2020 presidential election occurred amid the COVID-19 pandemic and deep political divisions. Incumbent President Donald Trump faced Democratic nominee Joe Biden. The campaign was contentious, reflecting America's polarized politics. Trump focused on law and order and economic nationalism. Biden promised unity and restoring America's global standing. The pandemic impacted campaigning and voting procedures. Trump's handling of the pandemic was a central campaign issue. Biden emphasized a science-based approach and empathy. The election saw unprecedented mail-in voting due to the pandemic. Trump falsely claimed voter fraud, refusing to concede. On January 6, 2021, Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. The attack resulted in deaths and significant damage, shaking the nation. Section 3. Racial Justice and Social Change, a Reckoning with History. The year 2020 was marked by the COVID-19 pandemic, a contentious election, and a nationwide reckoning with racial injustice. The death of George Floyd sparked protests across the U.S. and the world. Floyd's death, captured on video, showed a white officer kneeling on his neck for over 9 minutes. The video ignited outrage over systemic racism and police brutality. The Black Lives Matter movement gained renewed momentum. Protests erupted, demanding justice and an end to racial inequality. Calls for police reform gained traction. Monuments to Confederate figures were removed, reflecting a need to confront systems of oppression. The movement brought Black Americans' experiences to the forefront, demanding systemic change. Shaping the future. The 21st century has been defined by rapid technological advancements. From the rise of the internet to AI and biotechnology, technology has transformed our lives. The future promises even more profound changes. AI is already being used in many applications, from self-driving cars to personalized medicine. AI can automate tasks and create new forms of art, but it also raises ethical concerns. Biotechnology is another transformative field. Advances in gene editing offer the potential to cure genetic diseases, but they also raise ethical questions. The United States is well positioned to lead in these fields. It must also grapple with the ethical implications. The future of technology is uncertain but will shape the world profoundly. The nation that harnesses technology while addressing its challenges will thrive. The United States has the potential to lead in shaping a future where technology empowers humanity. Section 2. Navigating a Changing Landscape. Demographics and Identity. The United States has always been a nation of immigrants, a melting pot of cultures and ethnicities. In the 21st century, this diversity is more pronounced than ever before. The country is experiencing a dramatic demographic shift, with minority populations growing at a faster rate than the white population. This trend is projected to continue, and by the middle of the century, the United States will be a majority-minority nation. This demographic shift has significant implications for American society. It is changing the face of the nation, literally and figuratively. It is also reshaping the political landscape, as minority groups gain greater political power. This shift is leading to a re-examination of American identity and a debate about what it means to be American in the 21st century. The demographic shift is also having a profound impact on American culture. From food and music to fashion and language, the influence of diverse cultures is increasingly evident in American society. This cultural fusion is enriching the nation's tapestry and challenging traditional notions of American culture. The United States has a long history of grappling with issues of race and ethnicity. The demographic shift of the 21st century is forcing the nation to confront these issues once again. The challenge for the United States is to embrace its growing diversity as a source of strength and to create a society where all citizens have the opportunity to succeed, regardless of their race, ethnicity, or background. Section 3. Global Challenges, Global Leader, the United States on the world stage. As the 21st century unfolds, the United States continues to grapple with its role as a global leader. The world is facing a complex set of challenges, from climate change and global pandemics to terrorism and cyber warfare. These challenges transcend national borders and require international cooperation to address effectively. The United States, with its vast resources and military might, has long been a dominant force in global affairs. However, the nature of global leadership is changing. The rise of other global powers, such as China and India, is shifting the balance of power. The United States can no longer dictate terms on the world stage, but must learn to work collaboratively with other nations. Climate change is perhaps the most pressing global challenge of our time. The United States, as the world's second-largest emitter of greenhouse gases, has a responsibility to take a leadership role in addressing this issue. This includes reducing its own emissions and working with other countries to transition to a clean energy economy. The COVID-19 pandemic has demonstrated the interconnectedness of the world and the importance of global health security. The United States can play a vital role in preventing and responding to future pandemics by strengthening global health institutions, supporting vaccine development, and promoting international cooperation. In an increasingly multipolar world, the United States must find new ways to exert its influence and promote its values. This includes diplomacy, economic engagement, and support for democracy and human rights around the world. The United States must also be willing to work with countries that do not share its values when necessary to address common challenges. Section 1. A Legacy of Resilience. As we've journeyed through the annals of American history from the dawn of the new millennium to the present day, one constant emerges: the indomitable spirit of the American people. From the ashes of tragedy on September 11th to the depths of the Great Recession, from the fight for social justice to the challenges of a global pandemic, Americans have consistently demonstrated resilience, innovation, and an unwavering belief in the promise of a brighter tomorrow. The United States has always been a nation in constant evolution, shaped by the dreams and struggles of its diverse population. The early 21st century tested the nation's resolve like never before, exposing deep-seated divisions and forcing a confrontation with uncomfortable truths about its past and present. Yet, through it all, the American spirit endured, a testament to the enduring power of its founding ideals and the unwavering hope that resides in the hearts of its people. From the towering skyscrapers of New York City to the sprawling plains of the Midwest, from the bustling streets of Los Angeles to the quiet towns dotting the countryside, the American spirit is a vibrant tapestry woven from countless threads. It is the spirit of innovation that drives technological advancements, the spirit of compassion that fuels social change, the spirit of unity that binds a nation together in times of crisis. The story of the United States is not a linear progression toward perfection, but rather a continuous journey of growth, adaptation, and striving to live up to its founding principles. It is a story written not only in the halls of power but also in the everyday lives of ordinary citizens, in their acts of courage, kindness, and determination to build a better future for themselves and their children. Section 2, Shaping the American Future. As we look to the horizon of the 21st century, the United States faces a future filled with challenges and opportunities. The rapid pace of technological advancement, evolving demographics, and a globalized world present unique opportunities for growth, but also potential pitfalls. The technological revolution promises advancements in AI, biotechnology, and renewable energy, but also ethical dilemmas and workforce disruptions. Harnessing these technologies for humanity's betterment while mitigating risks requires careful regulation and broad benefit sharing. The changing demographics of the United States, with its growing diversity, present opportunities and challenges. Embracing diversity while addressing historical injustices will be crucial for a just society. On the global stage, the U.S. grapples with its role as a leader, navigating geopolitical relationships, addressing climate change and pandemics, and promoting democracy requires diplomacy and cooperation. The future of the U.S. will be shaped by its people's choices. It requires civic engagement, respectful dialogue, and collective action to address challenges and seize opportunities. The American story continues to be written every day, promising progress, innovation, and a future where liberty, equality, and opportunity ring true for all.